All right, guys, welcome back. We're going to do a little bit of a Hangout stream right now while the Godzilla Day is doing their thing with the Godzilla Battle Line video game. But some interesting stuff has come up. But we'll wait for a little bit longer for people to come up. I didn't have this scheduled because I didn't know when they were going to be doing the Godzilla Battle Line stuff. So let's take a look at our chat here. We've got Shishko999. Hey, welcome back. Chumbucket. Hey, what's up? Gotta talk about that -1 Goji. Yeah, there's something about that. We should definitely bring that up and definitely address that. Let's see what's new. Yeah, so only one item to go over with so far. So, and then we'll talk a little bit more about that too in just a minute. Derpy Cry says he doesn't know how he feels about it. Yeah. But we got some information about it that I'm going to share with you guys. A little bit, some context and everything, so. Oh my god, bro. There were so many ads during the live. Yeah, that's the thing is, if they finish their discussion early, they're just going to keep throwing ads until the next part of the schedule comes up, so. Prehistoric Toys, I saw you here for a sec. Oh, there you are. Hello, hello. It's been a while, hasn't it? Yes, welcome back, man. Welcome back, welcome back. All right, so let's talk about the unveilment of this new figure that's in the line. There it is. So what you're looking at right here is Godzilla from Godzilla the Ride Great Clash. So this is the second ride Godzilla. This is not the first ride Godzilla, and I will show you guys the differences and give you guys some context of the why this figure looks the way it looks and everything like that. So we'll go into details of that. Just look through the chat a little bit longer here. Happy Godzilla Day. Happy Godzilla Day to you too, bro. Childish Landino. Hey, welcome, man. The MonsterArts Godzilla the Ride figure is literally just -1 repainted with different dorsal plates. I mean, kind of. There's more to it, though. You're half right, half wrong. There's more to it. I hope they give us Ride Ghidorah and Mechagodzilla. Absolutely. This is opening the doors for that, for sure. Before, we've been sticking with movies and stuff, and nothing like comics or theme park rides. So this is opening up the doors to that aspect of the franchise. So that's really cool. I hope we get Mechagodzilla to go with it. I think that with this release, everybody's talking about wanting Mechagodzilla with it, because that is something entirely brand new, right? I really like the detail on this one. It's giving me Godzilla 2007 vibes, yeah. And I just realized my music was off. Sorry, guys. Music is on. Now we can just chill and relax. Need MonsterArts Godzilla the Ride. Oops. Okay. I'll be sure to make a note of this. I've just heard from them over there, and we will share that additional information about this figure. Okay. Would have wanted the gemstone first before this. It's too similar to -1. I agree with you. It is similar to that, but we are going to talk about why. We will talk about that. I would like to see if they make Monster Zero. Could be interesting. Oh, you talking about the ride version of that? Yeah, that'd be pretty dope. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, he's basically -1 Godzilla, but I do see the head being a bit more sharper. Yes, and we'll talk about why that's sharper too. Okay. Let's just get into it. Let's just get into it, and we'll probably recap and talk about this again in just a bit, but right now we are looking at the prototype of the Great Clash version of Godzilla here. And it's really cool. What you're looking at right here is a resin prototype. This is not a factory sample. It's not a recasted sample that is from the previous -1 figure that has just been repainted. So, and that's because there are differences, though it may not look too obvious at first. There are differences within this model. So I kind of talked about a little bit about what to expect behind the scenes. So we're going to just kind of share that information here. So, but yeah, so this guy's multitasking here. Kaiju Clash Zone, this stream and Toho's. Yeah, Toho's talking about the battle line stuff, so that's easy. Like, you could just watch it with it muted kind of thing. I mean, different thing going on. But yeah, so, but let's kind of just take a closer look at this. So first of all, obviously the biggest difference with this is the dorsals. The dorsals, they're a little bit different. They've been changed up a smidge. But the more notable thing about it is that the tail is fully developed with its dorsal all the way to the tip now. This wasn't like this with the -1 version of it. The -1 that you saw in 2023, that was a different design throughout this. So I guess you could say it's more filled out with the same design and everything. But let's go a little bit further back with this. This is not, to confuse it with, let's even go further back. So -1 the ride was first released a while ago, right? The very first one. So this is the very first Godzilla -1, or sorry, the Godzilla ride right here. Very different from what you're seeing that we just saw. You know, different silhouette, different build. The body of this is actually more akin to the Heisei Godzilla when it comes to the skin and texture and everything. So we're not getting this version. This was the first ride Godzilla. This is an X Plus figure that you're looking at right here. I couldn't find a good quality photo of this. It doesn't seem to exist anywhere online in general. So yeah, I don't know what's the deal with that, but that's what this looks like. And if you compare it here with this guy right here, I mean, it's like very, very different design, you know? And I will agree with the sentiment that the first ride Godzilla right here, that is much more interesting to have in the MonsterArts line than what we're seeing over here. So why are we getting the Great Clash version? That's what everybody's asking. Like, there's no difference. It's the same, right? That's what I'm seeing a lot right now. Despite the little differences and the similarities, the story goes like this. When Godzilla -1 has been done and released and everything like that, they started working on the Ride 2 Godzilla. And they did not use the model from the first Ride Godzilla. What they did do was take the -1 model, and then they modified it further. So that is why it doesn't have any major differences between -1 and this version right here. So they made some changes with the head. It's very slight. It's very slight. Super slight. I think they added more teeth to it. As far as main body proportions, though, you're going to see very much things that are like 1-to-1 that aren't on the -1 figure, though. Like the torso, the main body, the legs. Those don't have any big changes. Those are pretty much the same. The tail is even pretty much the same, too. It's just that head has been altered and that the dorsals now go all the way to the tip of the tail in the same design pattern. So, but that's what this figure is right here that you're looking at. This is the Ride 1 version. We're not getting that. We're getting the Ride 2 version of that. And the Ride 2 version is a modified version. Literally, that's what it is. It is an actual modified version of the -1 model. So this right here, you can see this is the promo image that they used for the Ride 2. If you look at this promo right here, you can see the dorsals on the Ride 2 right here. It goes all the way to the tip. It's the very same right here. Could that mean that there's a heat ray version in the future? Sure, absolutely. What's a bigger deal, though? Does that mean that we might be seeing this new Mecha Godzilla in the line? I think so. If they're doing this right here, it's not unusual that they do one-offs, though. It's not unusual, but I think they love this design. Toho wants it done. They're pushing to get this done. So I think we eventually might see this Mecha Godzilla being done. And then they might tread back into the first ride figures if these are a success. But of course, Toho wants to push things that are recent right now. So the first ride Godzilla, you can't watch that in Japan anymore. It's gone. So there's no real reason to promote those right now as figures. But if these do well, there's a chance that they can go back and do those ones as well. So that's something to look forward to. But let's look through some of these photos here. we'll go through them together. And these photos are just from folks that we've pulled off of Twitter. And there are some photos that have a lot of filters on them, so I did my best to kind of clean these up to kind of make them look neutral, but there are some filters on some of these photos. Like this has got a pinkish purple color tint to it, so... But you can kind of get the idea of what's going on here still, with all those extra spines and stuff. So again, I said this is not a sample. It's not a factory sample where it's made of plastic. This is an actual resin. So this is a brand new, it's a brand new mold that they've done right here, just for this figure. Even though there's parts that are reused and similar. And the biggest giveaway is obviously the teeth right here. The teeth are crisp. It looks like they've been redone a little bit for this model. But they look quite sharp. And that's because it's resin. So, but that's what I was talking about. It's a brand new head. This is a brand new headpiece right here. Everything else, I was looking closely. I was looking, you know, between the copy that I have of regular -1, and there's no seam lines through all this. So that's why it's a resin copy. And you can see that too. The paint scratches underneath, like the paint's been scratched off. You can see that that's resin right there. That's being exposed. Even parts right here. So it is a resin prototype that you're looking at right here, brand new. But again, this figure uses the model that was in the Great Clash, and it uses, and the Great Clash model is from -1. So there's going to be 1-to-1 parts of this right here. Let's keep going. There's going to be more information about this figure at Tamashii Nation 2025. They're going to have more information about it. I don't know if it's going to be fully solicited, but they will have more information there, and there potentially might be other S.H.MonsterArts that are brand new on display as well. So look forward to that. Let's keep going. So the dorsals at first glance, they kind of look like they were just painted brown, right? And there's no other definition to it, but upon closer inspection, there is a darker brown coloration within the folds of that. So these are all changed. All of these dorsals right here, they've been updated with this new model. And I believe even this part right here, it's quite different from the actual original -1 as well. So there have been updates, even like the way it's like kind of like this bony kind of aspect to it. I don't think this is present on -1, because with -1, it's actually more flat. It doesn't have this extra, I don't know, depth to it. Let me go to the comments really quick right here. I'm gonna play some catch up. I'm gonna start up a little bit higher. Okay. Do you think there's a chance if 93 poster Mechagodzilla gets reissued, reprinted? I don't think so. The Norioshi one, it's in Battle Line. Oh yeah, that's cool. But that was a web exclusive, and from what I was told back then, that was a one and done release. I don't think that one's ever gonna be done again. But as they say in the world of toys, never say never. Okay, let's see here. They should have made the death version of Godzilla instead of modified -1.0 and say that it is the Great Clash Godzilla. Oh, I think you're talking about the, I don't know if there's a real name for it, but the decompression state of it, yeah. That'd be an interesting release. Please let it be 25. I don't know. Diecast is expensive, so as much as diecast is really cool, it makes the figures much more expensive. It's kind of good that MonsterArts made this figure for the people who can't get their hands on the original release. I mean, it is different though, right? There's no ride version of it at the same time. So, for folks in the United States, the -1 figure that was reissued is still readily available. If you guys haven't picked that up, you can still get it today at MSRP still. Another thing to note is I believe the Great Clash is going to be available internationally. The first ride wasn't. That would be really cool. On the schedule for Godzilla Day, they do have a segment talking about it, so that would be really awesome. If they partnered with Universal and put it in their rides, that would be awesome. His face looks better, more aggressive. Yeah, it's subtle tweaks here, subtle tweaks that we see. But for the most part, there's a guy that's on TikTok. There's some Japanese guys on there, and they're like known for saying like same, different, right? Same, but different. And this is basically that, right? It's same, but it's different at the same time. Honestly, it's not bad. It looks great, along with enhanced details in the head, but to be honest, I only see people who are really big fans of the -1 being big on this. Maybe. Just bear in mind, this head that you're seeing right here is a resin head. So we'll have to see what they do when they do the new mold factory-wise. See how that looks. I'll be honest, I'm glad they're making Godzilla the ride, but I was hoping they'd announce a different figure for Godzilla Day like Godzilla 2003 or 93. Yeah, traditionally, they've announced Showa Godzilla figures in the Godzilla Days, so this is a little bit different than usual, because in the past it's been Hedorah, it's been Gigan, Jet Jaguar, yeah, so this is breaking from Showa tradition, so it's an interesting choice to do this one instead of other ones that I might know about. I wish I could afford the original -1 because the only one I have at the moment is the bootleg. Oh man. I'm gonna take it you're not in the US right now because sounds like it might be difficult for you to get that. I would like to see this guy at the next San Diego Comic-Con because I might be there as a graduation present. Well, here's the thing. If it's being solicited here in November, if it actually gets full solicitation, it will be released before San Diego Comic-Con, so it probably will not be there. But if it's one of those things where they just kind of show off the figure and they don't do solicitation for it, then there's a good chance. Just hope this is a stepping stone that'll eventually get to Gemstone Godzilla. Yes, it is a stepping stone. Just so you guys know, Gemstone Godzilla production stuff is in the Tamashii Nation surveys. They don't list them directly. They list the, would you like to see characters from the series? That's how they list it, rather than naming them each individual. So they are on the list. They're on the scope. The only official Monster Arts I have are Ultima and Final Wars. Hey, eventually, man, you'll get there. Do you think they will announce at least one more figure this year? Let's see here. We're in November right now. I mean, here's the thing. We got Tamashii Nation 2025 coming up. We just have Godzilla Day going on right now. I think there's a couple more up their sleeve. As far as being released this year, we're already capped. We're capped with Destroya being the last one. They're already well into 2026 now. Is anyone getting ads every 90 seconds? If you're talking about my stream, I can't control that. They just put ads on them, unfortunately. So if you get an ad, just bear with it. Sorry, guys. I really like, I think it's called the poster version of 2014. It's not accurate, but it's giving me nostalgia 11 years ago. Yeah, for sure. And also, I really can't wait for Monsterverse Ride. Oh, for sure. For sure. Oh, there we go. I'm in the Philippines. Yeah, so I understand. Difficult to get that kind of stuff. Make a friend. Hopefully, maybe somebody can hook you up and help you ship one out. That's out there, that direction. Any chance we'll ever get Super Godzilla figure? I've been talking to them about it. But again, I can't control them or anything like that. I can only push so far. But I have talked to them many times about Super Godzilla and Baggin. Gemstone Megalon is so badass. Monster Arts would be fire. Is this -1 Godzilla the only reveal for G-Day? Typically, it's been one Monster Arts for Godzilla Day, so... but the Godzilla Day is not over with yet. They have another information corner that's going to be up after the video game stuff that's going on right now, so we'll see if there's anything else listed. But at least for display purposes, I believe it's just going to be this figure. If every Monster Arts Godzilla figure was restocked, what would be the first thing you would buy? I have them also. Also, is there any figure you personally want them to make? Oh, I would love them to make a Baggin figure, but if I'm being realistic, 1975 Mechagodzilla is high on my wish list. Okay, we are officially caught up with the comments right there. Let's get back to the figure. So one big difference between the first 2023 Godzilla and this one too is that the dry brushing on this is like, it is a lot all over this figure. So I'd be curious to see how this is going to translate at the factory level, because they did a lot more with the heat ray version, but it still wasn't as much as it was solicited. The original 2023 version didn't have as much either, especially on the tail. Was noticeably missing dry brushing on the tail. But this one is just covered with dry brush effect, so hopefully this will translate well at the factory. Let's look closer at these dorsals though. Check this out. You got that. Again, there's a filter on this photo right here, so it appears like it's like a pinkish purple color. They're not that color. It's more of a brown and tan effect that you see right here. Let me see. Just got a notification. 1 second. Okay. So, but yeah, look at that. Again, similar stuff. You still got that floating belt piece that's right there. I don't believe that the engineering on the inside of it is going to be any different. I believe that we should expect the same engineering, similar engineering at least. There's an opportunity to make some adjustments, but I'm not expecting that. If they're going to make any adjustments, I expect it to be more up here, but not down here. So we'll see how that's gonna turn out. Let's see here. People who had anxiety with the big dorsals for the -1 Godzilla would probably feel relief with this version. Yeah, they do appear to be a lot thicker this time around versus the thinner ends of it. So, but yeah, the head looks great. I do believe that they made the teeth bigger on this one too. They're a lot longer. But look at that, yeah. I have a couple other photos that don't have this filter on there where we can see it a little bit more clear. So I would expect them probably doing a heat ray version of this though for some sort of event exclusive. I can see that happening, especially since that's the big promo that they use in their display. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that the reason why my photos don't show up all at once here is mainly because they're different formats. They're saved in different formats, so this will probably only display certain ones here. So this is without the filter. It's got a little bit of a white balance issue going on, but for the most part, this is closer to what you're going to see color-wise on it. Yeah, I like this photo of it. This is much more clear as to what you can expect. Look at that. I think I like the filter. If I end up getting this, I might have to custom paint the spines. Yeah, I'm curious to see how dark the black wash is going to be, or the dark brown wash that they're using here. But I might be with you on that right there. I might do a darker wash on that, if it turns out that way. It looks so good. Sure does. You do not want to experience a bootleg because, yeah, the bootleg is not good. I've seen other people experience it. It's not fun. Cool, man. Yeah, just like the movie, yeah. So this is a good photo of it, though. You get a good idea of the colors and everything. The teeth are definitely a little bit longer here, so curious to see how that's going to turn out on the factory level. There's another shot of it. And And then they have this on display next to it so that people can say, oh, it is based off of that Great Clash version. So, but yeah. As far as me personally goes, like what I was hoping to see from this, I mean, this is okay. It's the Ride Godzilla was not on my list of monsters that I would like to get. I'd rather stuff from the movies be done. But for folks that have been wanting the Ride Godzilla, I mean, I know you probably wanted the first version of the Ride Godzilla versus this guy right here. But, you know, so I know this is what I would have expected if I heard Ride version Godzilla. This version of it would be the one that I would like, but it is what it is. Let me pull up, let's compare it to -1. Oh, I see why I was pulling that up. Yeah, because I had labeled 1 in front of it. Give me a second while I pull up our 2023 Godzilla. Okay. So I'm just using the promo for this just so you guys can see the differences. So one of the big differences here between the new figure and this one right here is that this one's tannish coloration is much more muted by comparison. And it actually isn't as full as I even remembered it. Like if we're looking at this right here, look at all this, like the dry brushing effect is very, very minimal throughout this whole entire figure's lower end. It's got a little bit more on the top part, but not so much. And also the scars here on this figure. I think the muzzle might be a little shorter too for this one. So it might be more extended for the new figure. The teeth are a lot smaller. Yeah. Okay, so let's just compare that with this guy here. Yeah, I think that was probably the best angle right there. So we can compare that. And then let me find that other photo that was really good. Yeah, I think this one was probably the better one. Yeah. So here's a good contrast with the dorsals, right? Very flat, whole different design with the dorsals. So they've completely, these are all brand new. Every single dorsal right here has all been changed to brand new. Quite, sorry. It's definitely, yeah, the arms and all this stuff. It's, so think of it this way. It's not like they're, we're not technically, how to say this? It's not that they're copying the figure, it's just that the model that was used is literally a copy of -1 then modified. So that's what they're doing right here. So you're not going to see any differences like when it comes to the arms. Those are pretty much the same. The claws, the position of the claws, even the legs, pretty much the same right there. As far as the head, it's been tweaked a little bit. I'm seeing some differences, but for the most part, it's kind of similar. I think the snout is a little bit longer though on that. Let's see if we have, yeah, we'll zoom in on this one right here. Maybe maybe it could be angle and cell-phone distortion. It just does appear just a smidge longer. That's all. All right, let's see here. Yeah, look at that tail tip down there. So -1's tail is similar, but then it gets different towards the tip right there, right? But even then, these also look much more, they look different. Everything looks like has been changed dorsal-wise. It's all different. The edge pieces right here, I think that they are also a lot more spikier than this. Like over here, you know, they kind of protrude a little bit. Some of them are higher than others, but for the most part, they're kind of smaller, and this definitely looks like they're protruding a lot more on top of the tail. Let's see, is there another, not in this one right here, but let me pull up a different one. There we go. Yeah, here we go. So when we look at this guy right here, yeah, so again, similar like design, like on the sides right here. I don't see any difference of the texture right here, but these parts do look a little bit higher than what we're seeing in the original promo right here for the regular -1 figure. So it definitely looks like some parts have been changed up a little bit. Some parts are similar too at the same time, like these two parts match these two parts right there as well. So kind of going down the line a little bit. So maybe it's just a trick of the eye. Maybe they are identical, but from what I'm seeing right here, it could be a little bit different. Definitely the main dorsals though, all different and changed up right here. As far as the torso design goes, let's see if I can get a good shot of that. So yeah, as far as the torso goes, in the main part, there's no change right there. Like, it's pretty much the same. You've got the fold right there in the front. That's the same. You got the floating ring piece right there still. The hand position is pretty much the same. And then you got the articulated toes still. So yeah. It's like it's kind of new, but kind of not at the same time, right? So, but it's neat. It's neat other way. I think what's more neat about this release is that if you're not excited about it, there's a potential now that you might see Mechagodzilla from the ride. And I think that's more exciting than this right here. Bummed out that we didn't get to see the first ride Godzilla, but hey, never say never, it could still happen, right? Let me just check on our Battle Line stream here. Yep, they're still going on with Battle Line. So one new photo, and this one was posted by Tamashii themselves. So they took this photo right here. It's okay. No filter on it, but it does look like they did blur out the background a little bit just to make it a little bit easier to see. I'm looking at comments right now. I know this saves a lot of production time, but I wish they went back and overhauled the head and tail. There was definitely room for improvement. It does look like there's some small tweaks to the head, but it's not enough to really like call it an overhaul or anything like that. But I think as far as Tamashii's concerned, there's nothing wrong with the head. It's the fans that are wrong. So I think that when it comes to the mass production version of it, maybe the mold was squished or scrunched or something like that. In my honest opinion, I never had problems with the original -1 mold. I think it just depends on your angle of posing it and everything. But I know that the teeth are definitely not as sharp, and that's just not something that you're going to get with factory production. Hopefully, by making the teeth a little bit longer on this one, that will not be the case. Technology is always changing and evolving, so I'd like to be proven wrong on that right there. But I'll put it this way, the complaints that you see online are not indicative of the majority, and if that majority isn't as loud as the minority, they will not update those things. So a good example of them going back and updated due to majority would be the Gamera 1999 figure. When that was first released, that was massively everywhere. You would see like the head is all wrong. Japan, America, everybody was posting that the head was all wrong. And that was enough for them to bring in Shinichi Wakasa to resculpt the head for that figure right there. So it's got to be major for them to go back and retool it, because what you see online is not indicative of the general masses. There's the silent majority out there. All right, we got a question here. What is the date for Tamashii Nation 2025? It should be, I believe it's the 13th or the 14th. 1 second. Let me see, Tamashii Nation 2025. It is November 14th is when it starts. November 14th through the 16th. So for us in the United States, it will be the 13th is when it starts. The 13th at night. That's when the press is going to be allowed in to take some photos. And they don't unveil everything for the press part. So they generally unveil things as each day goes. So what's happened traditionally is that Monster Hunter hasn't shown up when the event starts, and then I think in the last 2 days of the event or the last day of the event, then Monster Hunter comes out. So if you don't see certain things, just wait until the event is over with. Let's see here. What other questions we got here? Prehistoric Kaiju, we'll see later. He's probably already gone. I don't know if you're going to see my comment, but I gotta get to sleep because Godzilla Day is cool. Oh, yeah. I did not see your comment. Looking through it, though. I don't see anything. But yeah, we'll see you later, dude. My friend will definitely want this figure replaced as -1 when he does not impale his hand. Yeah, it's a sharp one. This is probably also going to be sharp, being a thicker plastic, too. I wish I could afford Evo Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla 2021 Final Battle version, but Evo Goji is 11K. Oh, wow. I don't know what that means in your country's currency, but that does sound expensive. I mean, I get all the MonsterArts figures for you guys, so it's all for promo purposes and everything. So yeah, whatever MonsterArts is going to put out, I will get it. Yeah, so 13th through the 15th for us in the United States, but 14th through the 16th for them in Japan. Guys, Crunchyroll does not charge for tariffs, and they have 10-50% off their members. They do charge. Okay, so they don't import, but they do get their figures from the American distributor here, and all the tariffs and stuff that's already been baked into the price. That's why they're so expensive here. Okay, not bad. We can still anticipate potential show release. Oh yeah, for sure. We don't know what to expect for for the Tamashii Nation 2025 event, but there are more figures out there. In fact, I will go back, and I said this at the very beginning of the stream, but let me read the post here. So the post that Tamashii just referenced here, it says, at Prism Hall Central Park inside Tokyo Dome, the ongoing Godzilla Fest 2025 unveils for the first time reference display of S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla from Godzilla the Ride Great Crash. I don't know if it's Clash or Crash, but even more new items at the Tamashii Nation's Sorry, let me read this again. Even more new items at the Tamashii Nation's 2020 event on November 14th and 2016! Exclamation point? Question mark? Stay tuned. So that's just your little hint. MonsterArts Godzilla stuff, we're not done yet, but you gotta save some for the big show that Tamashii's putting on. So that's why traditionally there's always been generally one reveal at Godzilla Day and then more at Tamashii Nation 2025. All right, so let me close that up here. So again, just kind of looking at the differences between these two figures. I'm gonna leave these up for a second for you guys to take a look at. So, but yeah. So now that you guys have a little bit of some context behind this figure and how it's made and everything, how do you feel about it now? Do you feel better about it, or are you still feeling a little disappointed? I mean, how are we feeling now? I don't know if we'll see Showa King Ghidorah there, since it's actually being released at the end of November. They might have it on display, but generally at the Tamashii Nation's 2025 stuff, they like to show prototypes versus stuff that's already announced. Like, it's the big event for Tamashii Nation, so they do generally focus on stuff that hasn't been officially announced or anything. It's like their own convention kind of thing. Could have been better, is all I'm going to say. Leg says meh. Feeling meh about it. I mean, fair enough, guys. I mean, like I said, myself too. I'd be more interested in the first ride variation of Godzilla, but Toho wants to push the most recent one, so that's what we're getting. We're getting the ride version, and it's interesting that the dorsals are brown. I was looking through the promo, and it does look like that's the way it's painted, or not painted, but that's the way it looks like in the ride version. But I guess just it's an odd choice to pick, in my opinion, to make them brown. But I mean, it is what it is. I know you can't say anything, but I'm not convinced this is the only thing they're announcing. I mean, we'll see. They have the information corner that's coming up soon on the Battleline stream, so we'll see. I'm going to check on that right here. It still looks like they are in the middle of it. Yep, they're still doing Battleline stuff, but information corner should be coming up soon. I'm keeping an eye on it. We'll see if they announce anything else in the information corner number 2. I like it. Most likely getting it. Only got the Tamashii Boo. Oh, okay, gotcha. Is this all the revealing? The Godzilla Day is not over yet. We'll see if they're going to reveal anything else. As far as display goes, this is probably the only thing that will be on display. But if they have any images of prototypes that are upcoming, they might have that in their information corner. But for now, this is what has been unveiled so far. Hopefully they announce Ride Mechagodzilla on the Tamashii Nations event, but I can't go. I don't think they will. I think that, traditionally speaking, when it comes to partner figures that go with them, they'll announce the first one, and then when that one's fully released, then they'll solicit the next one after that. So I think Mechagodzilla might be a ways away still. If this one's coming soon, like Mechagodzilla might be end of the next year or something like that. For me, it's just too close to -1, so it's not really speaking to me as much, but it is what leads to a bigger and better things, and I'm for it. Yeah, I think it's the big picture that we can take away from this release. Even if you're not a big fan and you have no connection to this because we haven't been able to even experience this ride, at least it opens up to the door to other designs that have not been featured in the line. So we could potentially get to the very first ride Godzilla, the very first ride King Ghidorah that was in there, Mechagodzilla. That'd be wild if they did the Rodan one that was like a brief cameo. So, and then also, this could also open up doors to other things too. Like there is the VR experiences, the AR experiences that they do. You know, there's the Shin Ghidorah that was out there with the Evangelion crossover that could be done now. So it's an interesting concept to see that this is being done. So I would like to, I'm excited about the prospect of this as a collector. Not going to get the heat ray if they make one. Honestly, though, the heat ray does look really sick, though. It does look pretty good. And like, if I had to pick the heat ray over what I'm looking at right here, I would pick the heat ray because I just, as an individual, I don't like the brown on this figure. I don't like it at all. But that's just my personal opinion and taste. Godzilla Gojira 95. Hello, welcome. For fun, what if they made MonsterArts Giant Condor just a what if? I mean, that would blow everybody's mind, I think. What do you think? I think that would. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it would blow everybody's mind if they did that. I think I have a, yeah, front view. Ah, I hate this filter. It's a little out of focus too, but you can see a little bit more of the definition of the front side of it. Throw in more filler Godzillas. I don't see anyone else doing Ride Godzilla. Yeah. I think I thought Shin Ghidorah was forever locked behind some sort of restriction by the Eva company, like Toho can't even use them. I don't think so. I have never heard that before, because it's not Eva Ghidorah. It's still King Ghidorah. It's actually based off of a concept design that was originally going to be used as Ghidorah, and then they just brought it in to that. But I've never heard of that being that Eva. I don't think Eva company owns anything Godzilla related. Yeah. I'd immediately buy MonsterArts Giant Condor. You and Rob would buy probably, Shinrob Jira, he would buy like 10. No, he'd buy 50. Let's be realistic. And he would decorate his home with a whole bunch of Giant Condor. I wonder if they're going to drop more Showa Kaiju, or would they add on to the Destroyer 30th? That's a good question. We'll have to see what happens. I wish MonsterArts made more figures for Gamma Rebirth line, because the only thing there is the camera has, yeah. That's it so far, for sure. Yeah, that's it. Let me see if they've put on some new photos over here. Let me see. Let me see if they've added any new photos of it. It doesn't look like we've got any new photos. Yep, that's it. Nothing new. It's interesting, a lot of people aren't going to like X or anything and posting a lot of photos of this model. There was a lot of photos of the other parts in there. I think the problem is that they're not labeling it, they're just taking photos of the figure, and that makes it more difficult for me to find those photos if they're not actually labeling it. Personally, really like Gamma Rebirth series, so I wish they made more figures of that line. Oh yeah, we need that Gauss figure. Oh yeah, for sure. You know, they've done 99 and 96. Maybe next year we'll finally get Gauss and the 96 or 95 Gamma that was not brought over to the United States. Oh, big question. What are your thoughts on the new Godzilla -0 reveal? I mean, what's there really to say? It was just a text teaser, right? There wasn't really a lot going on, so cool sequel idea, name, I guess, but I need to see more to actually have more input on it, unfortunately. Text teasers like that, they don't get me excited, other than like, if we didn't know that Godzilla -1 sequel was in the works, that would have me more hyped, but because we know about it already, a text teaser of what I already know what's going on is like, eh. It's just the name, cool, -0, alright, that's cool. But unless I'm actually seeing something from it, it's actually funny because when I saw these promo pics that were or these photos going around before I did this stream, before they announced -0, I was thinking that this figure was going to be the 2026 Godzilla, and then I saw the display. I was like, oh, it's based off the ride version. Okay. So, and then got more information on it after that. Also wish they made some other kaiju from Singular Point, because I also really like that. Yeah, they did pretty good with Singular Point. It kind of petered out after they did the Rodan figures right there, and I think at that point it's just because the other movies, Monsterverse and all that other stuff, were coming out. They had to readjust their strategy to focus on what was current. But I don't think they're done with Singular Point. They might come back to it. So let's check on the stream here. We're still in Battle Line land. Yep, they're still doing it. Let's see here, what else? So, fair enough, just fun to speculate on where they'll go. Yeah. I get you. I feel like they would have been mad funny if this ended up being the -0 figure. I mean, here's the thing, like, when they announce the -0 figure, it's not going to look much different from this or from the -1 model. It's going to look similar. People are going to, I mean, we don't know what the design is going to look like, but I pretty good hunch that it's pretty much going to be a very similar design. Maybe some aspects like dorsals might change and whatnot, but I'm fully expecting another silhouette of this version of the figure. Just like how MonsterVerse Godzilla hasn't changed its major silhouette over time, except for Evolved Godzilla. It's like on one hand, you're really excited to get a new figure from the new movie, but then when you see that not much has changed, it's just like, oh, okay. I guess we're gonna get the same thing again, or similar. So. Alright, so let me see where we at on stream here. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and close this up. Let's put this back front and center for you guys right here. We'll go through these photos a little bit more, just for anybody that just popped in, wants to see this stuff. So yeah, first ride Godzilla, and it's not what we're going to get, unfortunately, but we're going to get this guy. More information on this character will be revealed at Tamashii Nation 2025, which isn't too many days from now. It's going to be, what, 2 Fridays from now, so 2 weeks. You'll get more information about this figure then. But other than that, that's pretty much it. There's not much else to talk about. We see this reveal here. I gave you guys the context, a little bit of why this figure is not too different. Spread that word to anybody else that's saying it's the same, just the same. That way we're all on the same page with it, and yeah. Yeah, I saw this. A lot of people saying that thought it was a custom figure on display. I was just like, they don't display custom stuff on display usually at the events like this. So it was definitely a manufactured figure, but not something that we would immediately recognize with the photos that were posted. Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. I think that is going to wrap it up here. I just wanted to jump on and just hang out, just explain a little bit about what's going on with this figure right here. And other than that, I'll take a couple more questions, but then I'm going to jump off. So if anybody's got any questions about Godzilla Day or anything else with the line, hit me in the comments right here. Let me just make this a little bit bigger for y'all. I like this one, so I'm going to keep this one up. So, but yeah. That is it. If you're talking about Odo Island Godzilla, I think that's what you mean by Godzillasaurus. I mean, I don't know if they'll do that for today, so I think what we're seeing today is in displays is what we're gonna see right here. Worth a shot picking, give the smallest, no. Sorry, no hints. Sorry, Charlie. No hints. The more I see this in this figure, the more I'm starting to come around to like it, but I don't know. I gotta really sit on those dorsals right there and see if I'm gonna like this brown or not. I'd like to see the official promo so that I can get a better idea of it. Kujira, hey, welcome back. Haven't seen you on our stream before, so welcome. Yeah. That was something that we were talking about earlier, was that the dorsals, the wash, especially in the paint right here, like if we zoom in on that, like it's definitely got some detail right there, but it definitely, like this one is a good example of a good balanced paint, you know, but like up here, it's just so light brown and everything. I don't know. It's also very jarring to see how light brown it is compared to the rest of the sculpt. So, but I guess this is how it's supposed to look in the ride. I gotta think about it still. I don't know if I like it or not. So, Because if you modify it, you know, it's not going to look like it was from the ride, right? But at the same time, maybe it would look better. Yeah, they're doing battle line stuff right now. They should be wrapping it up, though. The short starts at midnight PST. That's when they're going to start that. And then before the short, they're doing the info corner. I believe it's midnight. I have to look at the schedule again, but I think it's midnight when the short starts. I know that they have the info corner, and then they're going to do something about the ride. They're going to have a little spot for it in there, and then it goes into the short right after that. So I'm wondering if they're going to actually just show the ride. That would be really cool. Just a super tiny chance that Zilla gets a figure. Godzilla 1998? Sure. But Zilla? Maybe. If we're talking about 2004 Zilla? Maybe. I don't know, looks all very uniform. Not sure what they were going for. Yeah, I mean, as far as the dorsals go, like the actual sculpting, I like the sculpting. The sculpting is fine. It's just the paint, I'm like, eh. Maybe it's too early, could darken it once and out. Yeah, it is an early prototype. They might take feedback, they might make some adjustments of this. It just depends how soon they solicit this, though. Because when solicitation hits with Tamashii Nations, that's pretty much, it's like sent to the factory for the queue. There's no feedback to change things at that point. It's done. Yeah, yep. Yeah, especially if you're on the East Coast over there, like, yeah, it's gonna be like 3 in the morning when they do the short, so. Yeah, well, I'll put it right now for perspective. It's 11 p.m. right now where I'm at right now, so it's either gonna be at midnight or it's gonna be at 1 a.m. And I don't know how long the info corner is gonna be. Give me a second. I actually might have the information pulled up still. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I have it pulled up over here. Okay. So, yeah, the news corner starts at 3:35 Japan time. So what time is it right now in Japan? It is, it looks like Godzilla Battle Line Summit is in overtime because they were supposed to do news corner. Unless it's news corner right now. Let me see. It looks like the Battle Line people still, but maybe they are doing information corner right now. Give me a second. No, they're still playing Battle Line, it looks like, so... yeah. Just a bunch of talking heads playing Battle Line. So, at this point, if they're running late in the show, it's probably going to be... let's see here, what time? So, it's 4 o'clock right now. The short is supposed to be on, yeah, so at midnight is when the short is supposed to be playing. So I don't know if the info corner number 2 is just going to be shorter or what, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, if it's going to be delayed or not. But it is scheduled to be at midnight PST. Let's see here. Kujira says, sculpt looks great on the spines. I'm hoping that they might change the paint, but it's rare if it's possible for that weapon. Yeah. You know, they updated the 1954 paint on the mouth, considering that it's a very small part. That seemed logical and doable, but I don't know. It depends on what the feedback in Japan is about all this stuff. I haven't seen the ride. Nobody over here has seen it unless they've been in Japan, so I can't attest to like if this is what it's actually supposed to look like or not. I'm wondering if it'll be P Bandai exclusive or something like the Atomic -1 where it's exclusive. The placard does not have P Bandai logo branding on it, so I believe it is going to be a general release, but we'll see. I don't have any official confirmation on that, but generally when they put things out in events, they do tend to put the Premium Bandai logo on it, even though they don't say it's a Premium Bandai release. The logo is indicative of that being a P Bandai release. So I think this is probably going to be general, though. If you're allowed to answer this, why does Monster basically only do extra hands for accessories instead of what they used to do before? So with the extras and stuff like that, the current strategy for MonsterArts is when a figure is first released that it doesn't usually come with a lot of stuff because they want to save that stuff for a decisive battle version. or special color version, or a version after that. You might get some hands that might be a little bit different, but as far as like beam effects and go, Toho is kind of stepped in a lot with that decision-making process, and they really want the characters to come with beam effects that have lighting gimmicks on the figure themselves, generally speaking, but it's not one-to-one to say that's going to happen like all the time. It is case-by-case scenario is how they put that. But generally speaking, that is the current release strategy when it comes to accessories in MonsterArts, is that they save those for the decisive battle versions. They're not implementing them. The only time you will see accessories the first time is if they are absolutely integral to the character. So a good example is Gamma releases. Gamma has flight mode form and all those other parts in there. So they put a little bit more extras into those releases. But as far as Godzilla goes, the beam effect is not an important part of the first release of a figure. And that is something that is the current strategy. You don't have to like it, but that's just what they're doing. It's a business at the end of the day. Getting people to come back and double dip is something that they want you to do, instead of just buying one thing. As a collector, we would just like them to do one figure of everything and then just be done with it. But if they did that, they would eventually run out of product. So that's why we get reissues, that's why we get repaints, and all that other stuff that keeps the business going. Oh, will there ever be Tamashii store in California? They have a Godzilla pop-up in anime, in Little Tokyo, actually. It's not a Tamashii Nation store. I know what you mean. Like, is there a Tamashii Nation store kind of thing? Will that ever appear? As far as I know, that's not in the plans. They did put one in New York. I think the idea is that they want to do one per country. But I don't think that... I think there's more foot traffic in New York City versus here in Los Angeles and Little Tokyo. So that's why they decided to put it in New York. But they do have they do work closely with Anime Jungle here in Little Tokyo, and they have a pop-up, and you can check out any Tamashii related Godzilla product that's over there for sure. Another thing, if you're allowed to answer this, what happened? Oh, the Kyokyo, that subline is shelved. It's not permanent or anything like that. They've never said it's canceled. They just said that it's currently not in the works anymore. They did 1989. Originally, it was going to move on to Shin Godzilla, but that was a very ambitious project, and it was also in a phase with Shin Godzilla being issued so many times already at that point that the market was seeing some Shin Godzilla fatigue. So I think all of those things combined, they just eventually shelved it, and then it just hasn't been revisited ever since then. But it's not canceled. It's just not being pursued anymore at this time. It could come back, but not right now. Let's see here. I'm just wondering if Godzilla from -0 will have a new design. If there is, I'll buy the figures of that design from MonsterArts, and possibly, well, I don't know about Haya, but I know for MonsterArts, they're probably going to do a 2026 figure of it for sure. Right now, the pop-up shop is open. Give me a second. Let me look it up really quick. LA pop-up. Godzilla. I know it's up, not up too long right now. Godzilla pop-up. Los Angeles. Give me 1 second, guys. It's going to... Oh, that was an old one right there. I was just there yesterday, actually, at the pop-up. I got to meet Shinichi Wakasa, and I had him... Finally, we got to meet in person because we've been talking online before, but we got to meet in person for the first time, and I have this really cool photo when he sees my shirt, and he goes, "Oh, I know you! That's you!" I'll share it with the group eventually. Let's see here. Actually, if I still have it, I don't know if I downloaded it. Maybe I can find it. One thing at a time. I'm looking up this information right now about the Godzilla pop-up shop. Okay. Let's see here. It doesn't say when it's ending. it looks like it's ongoing right now. I don't know if it's going to be there forever, but yeah, I'm looking for it. I don't see an end date. I see the beginning date. Oh, here we go. So the pop-up shop is going to be from November 1st through November 23rd, 2025 at Anime Jungle in Little Tokyo. So you can go there. They have a whole bunch of imported merch that you can't get normally through US distribution. They do have some of that stuff there. So November 1st through the 23rd, that's how long the pop-up is going to be up for. And then the next question was about Shinichi Wakasa. Hold on, just give me a second here. It's a fun photo, so I'll pull it up really quick. One second, everybody. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna pull this up. So yeah, I was with Shinichi Wakasa, and the guy who took the photo was he's Chris from Toho Kingdom. He happened to catch it right at the same time. He's like, "Hey, I know you." So it was really cool. All right, going back to this, off topic, but safe display. Is it safe to save Legion without her stand? Yeah, if you're in the main adult form, yeah, you can display it without the stand there. It's just an extra support for the body. You don't have to have it on the display base, it's just extra support. If you're doing flight mode, you can have it displayed with the main parts. You don't necessarily need the extra supports for the wings because they take up a lot of space, but yeah. Do not abbreviate. Hey, you know what? Here's the thing. We're adults. We know what it means. If you're taking it that way, like, you can call it triple K, but yeah. It's Japanese. Remember, it's not an American thing. One question I've been wondering is cases like back in 2017 when we got NECA and MonsterArts making 62 at the same time, or currently with MonsterArts and Haya doing 2000 at the same time. Well, is this Toho's doing issuing the licenses at a similar time or something under the surface? If you're wondering if there's some sort of grand plan, like where the companies are secretly communicating about this stuff behind the scenes with them, not usually. It's purely coincidental because I'm not familiar with Haya's timeline when they announce figures and stuff. I do know that they do things digitally versus hand sculpted stuff, but for Tamashii Nations, their stuff is all hand sculpted, right? So they start production on these figures about a year to a year and a half in advance when it comes to deciding when they're going to start creating them. So I can't say for sure about Haya's timeline for that because I'm unfamiliar with that, but I'd say that it's more coincidental than it is Toho saying both companies need to work on this kind of thing. Generally, they don't push companies to work on the same thing at the same time because that's called brand cannibalization right there, and it forces companies to unnecessarily compete with each other in a way. So generally speaking, they try to avoid that, but sometimes it's just coincidental. And obviously, you know, in at least Tamashi's case for Godzilla 2000, it's done, it's out, it's released, and Haya is like so behind with their stuff that one's not anywhere near. So as far as competition goes, like between those two releases, like they're different markets too at the same time. A lot of folks that tend to not have a lot of spending money kind of gravitate towards Haya figures because of the price point, while the collectors that have a little bit more extra income do gravitate to both, or MonsterArts mostly. So like Godzilla 2000 is already pretty much on its way out in the US market. It's especially since reviews have been going around talking about how positive it is, it's definitely on its way out. Let me let's just take a look really quick. So that's a good question though. Let's look at, where was it? Godzilla 2000. Let's see. I'm going to show you guys just how much is left. So when you go to US retailers, this is it. This is all the retailers that offer it. So if I go over here, you know, you can get it on Entertainment Earth still. GameStop still has it. Xavier Collectibles, These guys only have 4 left in there. They're almost out. Amazon's out of stock too. So this is already on its way out, and it just became available this last week. That just started shipping on Friday. But yeah, it's a popular release. It's already going out. So if you don't have this figure, don't win it. Don't wait on it. Go pick it up. Don't wait. Okay, getting back to the chat here. Love your customs. Oh, he's talking to you over there, Kujira. Awesome. If you're allowed to answer this, is it possible for MonsterArts to make atomic breath parts for Ultima? I mean, it's possible. I don't know if they will do it, but it's possible. If they do like a decisive battle version, they can definitely include it. Definitely. Let's see here. I really do like 2000. The articulation is nice. A bit of a challenge working around the engineering with the new head. Oh, I didn't think it was challenging when I was working with it. It's actually really cool with the extendable joints. I think you just got to get used to it and understand how to pose it without breaking the sculpt, because it does allow you to really break the sculpt when posing, but you don't have to go that far. So just finding that balance is nice. Also, if you're allowed to answer, you're going to preface every question with this, huh? You could just ask the question. Will MonsterArts make side character titans like Warbat? It's possible. I know that original monsters in the Monsterverse are not high on the list right now, unless they're big bads. More for making replacement skull. Popping the new head on pushes the joints down. Yeah. Making replacement skull. Yeah, I knew. I think I understand what you're saying now. Yeah. I know it's not MonsterArts' typical IO, but could they ever do bendable wings from soft plastic from their releases? How I managed to get it to work well on jointed wings? I don't think so. Tamashii generally stays away from bendable parts, bendy stuff. They tried it out. I believe they tried it out with a S.H.MonsterArts Ultraman monster, and it seemed like the reception to that was very poor. So I don't think for Godzilla stuff, I don't think they're gonna go with bendy stuff. No, he's not fluent in English. He's definitely not. Bits and pieces here and there. Their bendy plastic doesn't hold up well. They ended up reverting it back on a later release of Godzilla. Did they really? I didn't know that. I know that I heard that there was a bootleg out there that didn't have a bendy wire, but to hear that it was reissued with no bendy wire, that's actually really cool. How about cloth wings for some sort? I think for MonsterArts, it's always just going to be plastic. I don't think they're going to go... they might do soft plastic materials like what they did with Jet Jaguar 2021, but I don't think that you're going to see stuff like cloth materials. Not for Godzilla though. They're not going to do it that way. Which I get it. I like my wings to not look broken up. Like Destroy's wings are all broken up, right? In parts. Even other figures like Rathalos' wings and stuff like that. Stardust Dragon, they're all broken up. But I mean, it's a hard pick. It's like, it's nice with bendy wire because it visually looks nice because it's not broken up. But if I had to pick, I would still pick the ball joints and everything and segments and stuff because I just think it's just more durable over time. Man, this Battle Line Summit is not ending, man. They're well into overtime, especially if they're gonna do the short at midnight. So I think things are gonna be delayed. It's got to be delayed. It looks like they are wrapping it up right now. Do you think MonsterArts can make a -1 that lets his spikes come out? So that would be we've talked about this with like folks like at Super 7 and everything, and from what we're told that would be a very, very costly engineering nightmare behind the scenes. But it would for a figure like MonsterArts, it would be astronomical to have the dorsals push in and push out, to have that as a feature right there, because you're developing more than well, for example, I'll put it this way. The dorsals on the figure itself, they're just glued in, right? But now if you add a whole articulation system that pops in and pops out, that has to be done for every single dorsal. And that would just, the cost, I'm told, the cost would be astronomical and it wouldn't be feasible to the consumer. So if you thought $140 was already too much for this figure, it could potentially make it go to like 200 or something like that. I'm told it's a big, big deal though, because Super 7 was looking into doing something like that, and yeah. MonsterArts is very phobic of resculpts, especially something as intensive as something like that. It just depends. I wouldn't call it phobic, but I would say that is it cost effective, and does that make sense for the consumer to pay that much to get that extra bit out of it? I think that's what it's more about. I know that would be probably be expensive if someone was able to customize a bootleg, make it spike come out. I saw somebody do a figure, I think it was with the Ichiban show, and they made like a whole electronic system where it made the whole spikes come in and out. It was really cool to see, but that's an individual maker. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying that from what I'm told, the cost to manufacture that and get that out would be quite costly. And it would be put on the consumer. You have to remember that with MonsterArts, there's a severe depreciation of yen going on right now. So when product is made in the factories in China, they take the currency that favors them more. So they are paying in Chinese yuan and not in yen when it comes to manufacturing that stuff. Just like when Super 7 makes stuff in China, they accept the US dollar because that's valued more than the yuan when it comes to manufacturing purposes. So it just costs a lot more for folks in Japan to have things manufactured. That's just the reality that we currently live in right now, unfortunately. I'd love if they had some that did roar like the old Bandai figurine. Yeah, the the electronics and stuff. That'd be pretty cool. I don't necessarily need it for myself, per se. Like, the idea of the Kyokyu line was neat, but I didn't need it. I did appreciate that it was a larger figure, though. That was nice, with MonsterArts level articulation. I wish MonsterArts would do resculpts like how Figure Arts resculpts popular characters such as DBZ characters. I'll put it this way, Godzilla is expensive and Godzilla is hard. That's what they say. So Dragon Ball Z characters are significantly easier to produce, is what I'm told when it comes to that. That's why they have constant refreshes and advances with their stuff. With Godzilla, it's a little different. It's a lot more expensive to manufacture. So a lot of the resculpts that you see, you know, stuff like for example, Godzilla 1994. I would say that if they ever do that figure again, I think 100% we will fully see a 2.0 version of that figure because it was so dated with its technology. Even Mechagodzilla 1993, that was updated through all of its reissues. You know, the first Mechagodzilla had swappable parts. Then when Super Mechagodzilla came out, they re-engineered it so that the tail is articulated and the neck had the flight mechanism. And then the third version of it, they made it so that you can just swap out the eyes for the damaged eyes within the figure itself, no swappable head. So they can do stuff like that, no problem, for a lot of older figures. Now when it comes to the articulation engineering, like say Space Godzilla, for example, probably not. They're probably not going to go as far, as much as I think that one needed new articulation engineering. Yeah, they're not going to, I don't think that they're going to go back and redo articulation unless it's like a complete refresh. And I believe that Space Godzilla already had better articulation, a lot better than the original 94 Godzilla 2. Yeah, the battle line segment is done right now, so we will be probably wrapping up here in just a bit, because right now they're just going to be playing their ads that they've been doing, behind the scenes videos. They're going to do the info corner, it looks like. Let's see what else we got on here. Did I miss anybody else's comments here? Okay, now I want to see Goku versus Godzilla with the beam fight. That'd be quite a unique experience right there, right? So, but anyways. All right, guys. This was great. It was cool hanging out with you guys during the battle line stuff. I am going to go ahead and call it here for this stream. If there is any other announcements, I will go ahead and post them eventually on there. I like to try to get high res and better photos of everything before I post it. So sometimes people post it right away, and it takes me like a minute or two before I post them, or an hour or two in this case, or a day later. So bear with me on that. But other than that, that is it. I will see you guys later. Have a good night and enjoy the rest of the stream. At the Godzilla Day stream and everything. Hope you guys get to see the short if you're sticking it out all night. If not, hopefully you get to catch it tomorrow. I'm excited to see who the villain is. My vote is that it's going to be Kiryu. But we'll see. We'll see if it's even going to be a Godzilla villain or not. Might be even Destroya comes back, but I think it's going to be Kiryu. So, but thanks for joining us, guys. You guys are awesome. Amazing folks out there. Hopefully I answered some questions about this figure for you guys, of what to expect. More information will be revealed later at Tamashii Nation 2025, so look forward to that information then. But until then, that's pretty much it here, guys. So I will be catching you later. Hey, Lane Vix, I'll see you later, man. Awesome having you here in the stream and everything. Fujira, if you're still around, thanks for stopping by. You guys are awesome.